For augmenting the vehicle pool, we also intend to eventually add a vehicle bay to every main base. This asset would be used by the CO and would be another method of spending the CRP resource. The vehicle bay prototype can currently be found on Jensen's Range in B17, located next to the helipads, which is exactly what you guys are looking at right now. Now, you might be asking yourself, but wait, you crazy fucking corn cob, what are we even talking about? What do you mean CRPs? What do you mean vehicle bay? What is this? What is this jargon? I don't understand. Well, stick with me because I'm going to explain everything. So basically what I'm reading from is a post from the developers of Squad that came out alongside the patch notes for B17. It's a pretty long post and quite detailed, so if you're someone who's concerned about the direction of Squad and changes that have been made recently, I highly encourage you to check it out. But I'm not going to be focusing on the rationale for the developers side. I'm mostly going to be talking about the new ideas and the concepts that are mentioned in this post, basically introducing all these things to you if you didn't read the post. Now, as I scroll through this, you might notice a little line in bold that says, "Please note, these potential future features have not been implemented yet, and plans are subject to change." This goes for everything I mentioned in this video, so just know that none of this is 100% confirmed yet. Now, with the arrival of the commander role in B17, we got artillery, airstrikes, drones, UAVs, all this cool stuff, but the problem with this is it's all running on basic cooldown timers. Every 20 minutes you get this, every 10 minutes you get that kind of thing. So this is going to get pretty predictable and pretty stale, as the devs said in the post, and they want to add something that is a little bit more in-depth to match the rest of Squad. So their solution to this problem is CRPs, or Commander Resource Points. Basically, this is a resource that your team's going to automatically generate, and as soon as you have enough points for artillery or a drone or whatever it may be, your commander can go ahead and call that in. And the interesting thing is, he will also be able to call in vehicles. Which brings us back to the vehicle bay. Right now, as it stands, it's just a way to spawn in vehicles on the firing range, but in the future, the commander is going to have this in the main base to spawn in any vehicle that you need. At first, it's going to be logistics trucks, but eventually more vehicles would be added to the vehicle bay's inventory. This would not be a complete replacement for the vehicles spawned at main. There would always be default spawned vehicles, and the vehicle bay would only be used for augmentation at the CO's discretion. This is going to make games much more interesting. Now you can literally pick which vehicles you use, and your commander is going to pick which abilities they use, and it all comes from this idea that you have CRPs, you have these points, and you spend them however you want. So maybe your team is going to go super like recon and close air support heavy. Maybe your team's going to go super armor heavy. You aren't really going to know what the enemy team is going to use either. Like, instead of asking yourself, okay, when's the tank going to spawn, it'll be like, are they going to use the tank, or are we going to get hit by artillery instead? This is going to make the game much more interesting, much less predictable, and it's going to give even more control to the players, so I'm very excited to see this combination of vehicle bay and CRPs working together in the future. HABs. Who doesn't love them? Spawning in them, spawning on top of them, getting shot, digging them up, digging them down, building ammo crates next to them, dying inside and screaming for a medic even though everybody around you is dead. HABs are so much fun, and the most fun thing about the HAB is that they're going to generate CRP points. That's right, folks. Each active HAB would contribute to the CRP generation, and there would be a granular incentive for the HAB's proximity to an objective. There would be a maximum limit to the amount of HABs that can contribute to the generation of CRP. Example, up to 3 HABs can contribute to the CRP. The idea behind this mechanic is to encourage teams to build HABs, not only for its spawn and resupply capability, but for its resource generation. HABs are going to be even more important in the future, it seems. You're going to need them to spawn, you're going to need them for the commander abilities, and you're going to need them for the CRP resource that the commander uses to call in those abilities. So they're going to be super important, and I can't wait to see the dynamic that this produces on the metagame of Squad. I'm sure it's going to be very interesting. Now, we're not quite done talking about the commander role, and we're going to get to that in just a second, but before we do, let's get incapacitated. Perfect. As you can see, this guy got his shit rocked pretty hard, and he's going to give up because he's a sniveling coward. If only there was something to prevent people like this guy from giving up as soon as they get killed. Maybe something like if the incapacitated screen was a little bit more interesting. As you can see, You can see a little bit more around where the player is incapacitated. You can also free look a little bit with a reduced angle, and you can see the squad leader GoPro camera. I think this would be really, really cool, and people would definitely not give up as fast if this were implemented in the game, especially the GoPro camera. That is so freaking cool. That's such a great idea. I hope they actually add it, and it might have to be a mod. I'm not sure if they're actually going to get to that, but they do seem to want to reduce people giving up quickly, so maybe we might get this incapacitated state looking something like this in the future. Who knows? As anybody who's ever been a squad leader knows, communications can get very hectic when you're in the middle of a game. Between the gunfire, local chat, squad chat, and command chat, it can be nearly impossible to figure out what anybody is saying because it's all coming to you at the same time. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to be tweaking this system, and one of the ways is to reduce the squad volume when a squad leader is talking, so you can hear the command and you can hear your squad, but the squad volume is way lower. Another thing they might do is add an option to have the command channel in your left ear and your squad channel in your right ear, just as the gods intended. Can you just follow me in the lobby? Just a quick shout out to Thane, Lemonbeard, and Cornhole Patrol for helping out with that audio. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Basically, this change is intended to make things a little bit less chaotic in terms of communications, so we'll see how it works out in the future. Speaking of chaos, when you first buy a game that has a very steep learning curve, you don't know what you're doing, you're lost, you're confused, you don't know how to play, people are yelling at you. This is often the case in Squad with new players, which is why they implemented the infantry tutorial. You guys might be happy to know that a full-blown squad leader and commander tutorial is planned, but was not ready in time for the B17 release. I only hope that they tell new players, don't squad lead, don't command, unless you've played for a certain amount of time and you have a good grasp of the game concepts. I'm sure OWI is going to do a great job, and hopefully it'll make squad leading for the first time a little bit less of a trial by fire. Alright guys, I know this is a pretty dense video so far, there's a lot of information in it. Unfortunately, there is still more to go through. Let's take a look inside here. Okay, buddy rally removal, UAV map icon, territory control, abandoned vehicles, laser designators, vehicle damage, voice callouts. Okay, yeah, obviously there is more stuff, so stick around to the end. We're gonna keep going. Ah, rally points. A squad's best friend. We all love spawning on them. Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Oh, fuck! Buddy rallies. Buddy rallies are going away. Fucking finally. Apparently, the intention is to remove the buddy rally feature in the next update for all factions except the Insurgent faction. Beyond 1.0, we would love to replace the Insurgent buddy rally completely by adding a more intuitive and immersive tunnels system for the Insurgent faction. This would be a way for insurgents to fast travel between two tunnel points that are deployed by squad leaders. This would be part of a much larger overhaul of the Insurgent faction and the Insurgency game mode, which is still to be determined. Honestly, I'm so glad that Buddy Rally is going away. I'm not sure if they're going to keep the tunnel idea. I don't know, fast traveling, that might be a little bit far-fetched. People might complain about that. But other than that, I think keeping the Buddy Rally for insurgents makes a fair bit of sense. Not really sure what they mean by the overhaul to the faction and the Insurgency game mode. I'm only hoping that they release something that's going to breathe some life back into the Insurgency game mode, because I miss it, to be honest. Part of the reason they had Buddy Rally in the first place was because of that fun moment when your whole team gets wiped, there's no FOBs, all your vehicles are abandoned, so you spawn at main and you run hundreds of meters back to the objective. Other than using Buddy Rallies, another option to prevent this type of situation is to add in vehicle recovery. Basically, the way this is going to work is you have a 150 meter radius around each vehicle, and if no friendly assets or players enter that radius for 20 minutes, then the game's going to act like it is flipped over, and eventually it'll take enough damage, and that's how it's going to respawn. Additionally, it seems like territory control is going to get a little bit more meat on its bones in the future. They plan on adding little ticket bonuses for every territory that you capture. They said between 5 and 10, and eventually they would be adding resource nodes. Now, I'm not sure what the resource nodes would be, but I'm assuming it would look something like ammo, construction, obviously tickets, and probably the CRP resource. I think it would be pretty interesting if each team had a limited supply of construction and ammo at the main base, and you had to fight on the map to get that ammo and get those construction points. This is just speculation and it's not confirmed yet, but I think it's pretty likely that it would look something like this. This is actual time-lapse footage. If you want to check out some of the time-lapses, I'll put a link on your screen right now for that. In the background here, you're going to be seeing some pretty sweet 30 mil kills. This is back when we did not have the command turrets for the 30 mils. So basically what you do is use binocs and mark things. And what I did is I had a hotkey. If you're wondering how I'm marking so fast, you can actually set a hotkey to put eyeballs down. So that's what I used here. In the future, they might actually add laser designators in order to get range. So I'm not sure if that would mean just ranging things, or if we would actually be able to lace targets for CAS. Maybe the way that we call in commander abilities would change, but we'll just have to wait and see. In the future of Squad, doing something like this might actually do damage to your vehicle. Oh fuck! Oh Jesus!
What the fuck?
I don't know how I did that. We do have plans to eventually add some light damage to vehicles and passengers when they hit objects at excessive velocities. As for vehicles incurring impact damage to pedestrians, this would go hand in hand with the above changes. Now it seems like this might take a little bit longer to be implemented. I'm gonna guess after 1.0, because they said there's some technical challenges, like if a vehicle goes at an excessive velocity when it flies in the air because it glitched, the calculations would, I think, break the server. So there's some technical things they have to get over to actually implement this. Otherwise, in the future, you can expect to be a little bit more penalized for driving recklessly and bumping into things and bumping into people. Alright, so this brings us to the last two pieces of information that I'm going to share with you. The first one being that in the future, you will be able to see the UAV icon on the map. You will be able to see what you're looking at on the map, and the view cone will be there just like if you were a normal player running around. The second thing is that you can shoot down UAVs. I'm not sure if people don't know they can shoot down UAVs, or if they just haven't been looking up in the sky enough, but just know you can shoot UAVs down. Alright, that is about it for this video, guys. I know it was a pretty long one, it was pretty dense. In any case, thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. I'm pretty happy with the channel lately. The last video got a pretty good amount of traction, so I'm hoping that this follow-up is the same way. And if you notice, the background footage is a lot of admin cam, and that's because I'm actually recording a compilation for admin cam. So as soon as I'm happy with the quality of the footage that I have, I'm going to be starting editing on that and then publishing that. So if you're new to the channel and that sounds interesting to you, I would highly encourage you to subscribe, and you can see it whenever it gets uploaded. Otherwise, if you've already been around for a while, thank you for your support, and I will see you guys all in the tactical cornfield next time.